I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, friends.
Oh, hi there.
Oh, it's the best sound that anyone's ever heard. Hi. Welcome to the Top Chef All-Stars Season 17 After Show. We are your hosts. I'm Ann Walls-Gordon.
I'm Dave Gordon.
He's busy because he's pouring me my wines. My wine glass says, welcome to the SHIT show. But really, it's a show about chefing. We're, how do you explain it? What's a taste of the Gordons?
Taste of the Gordons. Well, we're two.
There's two of us.
There's two of us, yes.
We're food aficionados. We are human beings who need to consume food, but really, we are Top Chef super fans.
And we love to talk about food.
We're nerds.
As much as we love eating food, we love to talk about it more.
I agree. Well, we have two small children, so we don't have time to cook food anymore. So we actually just like microwave things and talk about nice food we used to make and food we used to eat when we go out.
And so Top Chef is us living vicariously through all of that.
They say you eat with your eyes first.
Which is true.
So,
mostly only our eyes at this point.
Let's talk about our level of nerdiness about Top Chef.
Sure.
So I'm trying to think I don't think I started at season 1. I think I started at season, I want to say 3, like the Miami time, but you, I feel like watched all of them.
I've been through all 16 seasons. I watched from episode 1. I spent my childhood watching cooking shows on PBS. Like, remember Lydia Bastianich?
Literally every cooking show he has watched.
And the same way that people seek out Top Chef restaurants now, I used to go to their restaurants back in the 1980s.
So Dave grew up in New York. I grew up in LA. We did not have Top Chef restaurants.
Well,
we had fancy restaurants.
We had one, Fay Lydia.
And Fay Lydia? What does Fay mean? In Spanish, Fay is
no, it's Italian.
Unattractive. Oh no, I know.
It's quite the opposite in Italian. It's very beautiful.
Lydia.
Harmonious.
So Dave has a literal encyclopedic knowledge of all cooking shows. Rick Bayless, Ming Can Cook, all those things.
Sure, of course. I'm very bad with names, but I have a very, very good memory.
Dave is very bad with names. This will come up later when we talk about the
Yeah.
winners and the losers of this first episode of Top Chef All-Star Season 17.
Just laying the groundwork now.
I feel like I need to confess something, which is that food aficionado, sure, am the worst because, not the worst, but need to couch my food intake is I'm a mostly gluten-free pescatarian, which is mostly a nightmare for us at restaurants.
Yeah, I ate everything before we met, and now I too am a gluten-free pescatarian.
You eat bread. And we're making sourdough bread. That's the loophole. So we'll update you next episode on how our sourdough bread is going. I know that's why we really are all here, is not to hear about the show, but really to hear about our sourdough bread.
Yeah, our starter is starting. And,
Go on.
you know, by the time the next episode airs, we will have made several loaves of tester bread. And so, as you will see, it's quite a lot to look at. It's very impressive.
It's kind of like a funky science experiment, but this is sourdough bread starter. The sourdough starter is from the Oregon Trail. I got it from a strange man that you just send him an envelope and he sends you this. We might die. We're not sure. The point is,
we're talking 1860s here, so
yeah, it's fine. If there's dysentery in it, it's almost too timely. Anyway, okay, let's talk about the show. First, we want to do a little shout out to ourselves. Please subscribe to the channel. Please give the video 5 stars. Please give it a thumbs up. Comment on iTunes. Just give us the love. If you want to do some chat, we have a live chat going at YouTube next to the Daily Deal. What's it? The video it's called? Please that. Okay, so we have a little bit of a kind of structure to the show, a flow, if you will, a menu.
Sure,
a menu to discuss. I think we should start with the cheers.
We're gonna course the show for you. You just sit back, but we'll start with the cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This wine is a.
Let me tell you,
it's really good.
it's a Vigna Alberti.
I'm glad it's good because we have 6 bottles.
Yeah,
of it.
it is good. We received an entire box. We're not sure why.
It's very jammy.
It is. It's very fruity.
So it's a Spanish situation. I don't know if I've ever really have I had a Rioja.
Sure.
I like it.
I would say yes.
I feel like it's like a heavier wine.
I would say pre-children, you had everything at least one time.
So with our wine, we have a cheese course.
Which we're not going to tell our children that we ate their cheese.
They've got like a nice prosciutto happening too. So we're going to get into this. Okay. So what we're going to call this first section is the taste of the episode. What dish does this first episode of Top Chef All-Star Season 17, what dish does this episode remind you of and why?
I'm going to say something along the lines of a stew, maybe a gumbo.
A gumbo.
Yeah.
Why?
Just throw a bunch of stuff in there and sort of let it stew.
Well, I feel like that's how every first episode of Top Chef feels,
There's a lot.
right?
There's a lot to
but
follow.
you know who's in this one.
Yeah. So the nice benefit of doing an all-star season is we've been with these contestants before.
But some of them are deep cuts. Some of them are like,
yes.
who are you?
So-
It's not because they look. I mean, some of them look different.
Some of
Because
them do look different.
Yeah.
Some of them first appeared on the show in 2009 and haven't been back
Yeah.
until 2020.
Who knows the year the show started? Everyone. Yes.
And so, even though they are familiar faces, and many of them we have followed their careers since they first appeared on the show, a lot of them we're meeting them again for the first time. And so you're throwing a lot of different personalities, a lot of different cooking styles all into the mix all at the same time.
And I think with the time passage, a lot of them have, well, we'll get to that. A lot of them have things to prove, but a lot of them also have really changed as chefs
Sure.
from the beginning. Do you feel like you remember everyone? Or are there a couple people that you're like, who dat?
There
I
were
was like that. for
there
sure.
were a few people that I
Yeah.
had to go back and look up.
Yeah.
Everyone's face I recognized to a degree. Some of them have
Not that
changed so
one
much.
girl, Lisa.
She
Oh, but then I recognized her in the flashback. Yeah.
but after doing a little bit of research, I was able to put myself back into that time and remember all of them.
Where was
And
I?
taste their food.
Oh, well, speaking of taste their food, I do feel like we should come clean about something. A little,
What is it?
well, a thing about the season, about me.
Oh, sure.
So, well, you know what? Let me back it up one more step before that. To just fill in the rest of the super fanness, Dave has watched every single episode. I've watched religiously for a long time. And then to cement our nerd status, we do a Top Chef Fantasy League every year. So sometimes it's with a couple of our friends. I've done it with like a bigger group, which is too many because when you divide up the teams, you only get basically like 2 chefs. And it's like
2
not
to 3
enough.
chefs, and it's not fun.
And we played with the scoring. We've done this stuff where it's like very specific, like every single quickfire has different points and the winner has points, you get survival points and that kind of like cumulativeness. But we are lazy again because we're parents of small children. So we just basically each draft. We did this with Katie and Alden too. And
We did.
shout out to Katie and Alden. I'll just send them the link later. We would just do whoever wins. Because we did points for a while.
Yeah, we've experimented with the format quite a bit, but the point is
Yeah.
we've been doing it for 7, 8, 9 seasons at this point.
But there's a reason that we can't do the fantasy league this year. And that reason is, well, we can do it later in the season.
Yeah.
The reason is, I have something in my eye because, I'm committed to this cat eye. The reason is I was on an episode this season. It was my true dream realized. The long story, very short, is, I'm part of this like mom group and we went on this cool weekend retreat in Lake Arrowhead in California, up in the mountains. And as they were planning the retreat, some of the moms who were kind of like spearheading everything, they got a call from the Top Chef producers who had already wanted to do an episode up in the mountains. And they realized there was going to be how much? 250
plus.
moms.
250 moms left, 250 dads, and somewhere between
I like
500
that.
and 600 children alone.
And everyone lived to tell the tale. You were barely hanging on when I came home. It was very cute. Point is, we're trying to figure this out because we were watching the first episode and I was trying to figure out who it was, but I mean, I know who it was, but how many? I think there was 7 or 8 of them.
We think there was 8 or 9. 8, yeah.
8. There wasn't, yeah. Anyway, I got to eat Top Chef food. We've eaten Top Chef food and that part of our prize for winning Top Chef Fantasy League with our friends when we were in New York, and now is the other person has to pay and you go to a Top
The
Chef
loser
restaurant.
pays for the winner.
Yeah.
To go eat at a Top Chef restaurant.
Which in LA and New York, we're stoked because there's a ton. So that's amazing. So they cooked breakfast for us. So what that means is that for these first, call it 5 episodes, I'm just a pain in the tuchus because I know stuff.
We don't know
stuff.
We don't know the order, of course, that the players went out, but
Mm-mm.
we do know who will make it to at least that episode.
To be clear, though, we're not here. This is a retrospective show in terms of when we make guesses about next week, which we'll do at the end of the show. We're never going to be like, oh, you know who's going to definitely leave is this person. We're never going to do that.
We're not going to run anything.
We want you to like the show, but then I just have to be slightly probably off-putting and smoke that I know.
Well, you should
some
be.
stuff.
You've
Sorry,
eaten-
guys.
You ate in one sitting
It was breakfast.
a breakfast prepared by 8 Top Chef.
It was
contestants,
prepared.
all
like-
stars.
This was like a camp for adults, which is your dream.
It
Dave's,
was, yeah.
Dave's love of camp is. It was a camp for adults, not comfortable beds. Neither here nor there. Food was very bad actually, but they cooked breakfast. But I think their like hardship like how in this episode they had to cook just on the beach willy-nilly with fire, and we can get into how that worked for some people and did not work for some people. Theirs was they had to cook in like a pretty shady like camp mass, like they served us at the like, you know, tray buffet.
It's not a well-stocked pantry. You're working with very, very, you know, what's the word?
What is
not
it?
Industrial, but like when they make food for like
It was an industrial kitchen.
Yeah, but
That's
like
fair.
there's a word I'm looking for, at like a dining hall or like hospital food. It's like a
institutional.
Like you're looking at an institutional kitchen in a camp setting like that.
So let's get into the recap. We're not going to do every single thing that happened because y'all watched it. We want to talk about it. We're going to have things to say.
We have opinions and feelings.
We have opinions and feelings. So the way we're kind of going to do this is let's start with the appetizer course. So the first part of the show recap. So I think that is the quick fire.
Sure,
but it also is quick takes on, you know, who's back, what's the tea, who's got baggage, who's here to prove something. They're all here to prove something.
Right. Who's got a chip on their shoulder?
Yeah.
Who's coming in because they've made themselves a celebrity chef over the last couple of years, and
to
everyone's gunning for them.
For sure. Because you've got like a Brian Voltaggio. Pretty much everyone in this world knows who he is.
Everyone is treating him in the first episode like he is the celebrity. Like
for
he's reached the level of the Tom Colicchio, which he hasn't, but he is very good.
Where does his restaurant even? Not like Universal's restaurant, but like
I don't know.
Does he have a couple? We
we
have been to Inc. Michael Voltaggio's restaurant, which is now not even open anymore. I don't think.
He closed.
It's good though. I think so.
Yeah, he's probably working on his next.
He definitely lives in our neighborhood.
Yeah, I haven't seen him, but
I see him in
I believe you.
He goes to the juice shop. We just outed him. Here's what I think. They've got a James Beard winner.
Sure. Remind me who it was.
Pinky.
Karen. Yes,
we have
Karen.
names for people.
Yes.
They've got multiple James Beard nominees, and that just for chefs is like, here's my lay that down.
Yeah, that's a big deal because it's
chefs.
James Beard is a little bit more legitimate, at least in my eyes, than some of the other awards that are out there and getting Michelin stars.
You think James Beard is more?
Yeah, they use different criteria. They're looking for different things. They're not looking for like stuffy, haughty-taughty type of restaurants.
Is James Beard alive?
He's got a foundation, and
which could go either way, right?
And I don't know if he ever makes appearances there.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to talk about, so I was trying to think of like who are the dark horses, and I stand Nene, but I've learned my lesson. I stand her. She was on my fantasy team last season.
I believe it was last season. Yeah. No, I don't think she was in Louisville. I think it was the season before that. Within the last.
Well, I'm still burned.
Yeah.
Much like Leanne's fish. I am burned.
Yeah, she came out on fire, and
she did. She started really strong,
very, very quickly.
But I think she's getting an interesting edit because they're basically the way that she is talking and the number of bites they. Did I mention that I make TV for a living? I should probably talk about that too.
Sure.
Oh,
it's interesting to me.
I forgot. Well, I just thought, yes, I produce reality TV for a living and also branded digital content, and I'm a writer, producer, director. Want to say your job?
Sure, if it's interesting to anyone, I do market research.
In entertainment.
Market research.
Okay, but he does like the movie screenings where you're like, what did you think of the movie? Who'd you like? Blah, blah, blah. And he also like, we both work in entertainment, but he is this digital side of it and understands numbers. And I do the words. Same industry though. So we look at things very differently because I've come at them from one way, he comes at them from a actually rational way. The point was, Nene burned.
Yeah, they're giving her a lot of screen time right off the bat. She has a delightful personality.
She does. I agree, and I think the bites they're giving her though, her edit is basically like, I'm just so glad to be here. I can't believe I'm here. There's so many famous chefs here. Like they always have someone who does that.
Sure. Like
she's like the young kind of like.
Yeah, the dough and headlights and all of a sudden she's going to come and surprise.
The dough and headlights?
What's the expression?
Deer? I mean, a dough is a female deer.
They're the same.
I thought you meant like pizza dough and headlights. Like, whoa!
That would
but it would be a soft.
Never had time for a food pun talking Top Chef.
That's what the car would be very, when it hit you, just gently roll over you. That's your pizza dough.
Sure.
So it'd be quiet. Yeah. We have to make those pizza dough breadsticks from the Highlights. That's where our recipes come from now. Highlights magazine. Shoot us. So I feel like Nene could be a dark horse, but I actually realized no, she can't. She's too nervous. I still say Angelo because Angelo was my dark horse. Angelo got me a lot of points.
From what I remember, and I believe this is actually Angelo's second appearance on an All-Star, is he was just very inconsistent. His top dishes will rival any top dishes you'll see over the course of the entire series. But
that's how people are sometimes. You have the like solid, and you make one mistake and go home, and then you have what's happening.
Yeah, you have those roller coasters, and there's at least 3 or 4 of those people I think that we have so far in this season. But Angelo, to me, is the one that stands out the most, who any given week can be at the top or at the bottom, never surprised.
You know who else was on another All-Star was Jen.
Yeah.
Jen.
She's not my favorite.
She's not.
I'll leave it at that.
She does talk like Renee Zellweger, but she's just kind of a wine bucket.
Yeah, there's something about her the producers like. They brought her back multiple times. This is her second All-Stars.
She's
They've also given her weird excuses to come back to the Last Chance Kitchen to get back in.
Oh yeah, but she doesn't like judge. They bring the good ones back to judge. They bring the winners.
Usually it's the winners and the ones that or the ones that start a restaurant or go on to big things after they leave.
Yeah,
that's not her.
No. But it's weird because like her expertise, I don't know, seems like she'd be better, or she doesn't match her expertise.
She works at Eric Repair's restaurant, Bernadette.
Is that just like all you need? Like once you do that, you're set?
If you work there for a long enough period of time, which they indicate that she did, that's usually enough to say that she has her bona fides and that she is legit. Who knows what she was doing there though? I mean, based on what I can tell from her cooking,
complaining, I think,
it might not have actually been chefing. She might have been doing something a little bit, in a different part of the restaurant.
You were sweeping. Oh, you were. Okay, sorry. So, quick fire.
Sure.
I mean, they didn't go too deep in the imagination bucket to come up with a mise en place quick fire.
No, I mean, they do that every episode.
They've all
they do that every season, if not almost every season, and it's entertaining to watch. It tells you very little. And they even
I agree.
They sort of joked a little bit about it when Tom said that they're it seems like they're out of the prep kitchen because they're all doing such a poor job and they're such world-class chefs.
To wit, one of them said, I believe it was Eric. I got people for that, like pretty snobby.
I believe that was Kevin.
Oh, it was Kevin.
Yeah, it was Kevin, and he.
Who's Eric? Oh, I've got your name disease. Oh God. Oh God. I like how Brian Voltaggio was Eric. Oh yeah, Eric. Brian Voltaggio was Eric's a judge on his episode.
Yes.
On his, maybe the one he went out? No. That was when he made the fancy stew.
I think he did very well, actually. It was a well-received dish.
The mise en place thing, what's good about it? You're like, okay, I'm back. Top Chef is back. They're doing this thing. They're making tiny oranges into tinier oranges. They're doing stuff with almonds. Jen is trying to crack an almond with the...
It's fun that they put them in a position where they're on
outside?
A team right away. No, on a team right away. And they away.
Yeah, that's
big
true.
Egos, big personalities, different styles, and they all have to work together right away. Does it really matter? Nah. They don't really get that much of an advantage.
There was no Rebel Without a Cause reference or La La Land reference to shooting at Griffith Observatory. There was actually no reason they were really there.
It's a nice opening shot. When they were at the observatory.
Yeah, this is all fair.
What I didn't notice was whether or not Padma was standing on her little mat.
Oh my God, you guys.
Because there's a lot of dirt in that particular. We sometimes hike there, so we know the area well.
It's in the kitchen usually. So you might notice we think Padma is a lot. She's a lot. She has we're doing a whole segment about her best singers of the episode, and there's so many to choose from always. She's just like a lot and a bit pris, and that's fine. But check it out. Every time they're in the kitchen, which, they did talk. They're always outside this episode. They were in the kitchen for like a hot minute. Anyway, the point is she stands on a mat, like a special, I've been cooking for 12 hours and I need to have like an ergonomic thick mat to stand on. But they always catch it in the wide shots. So it looks insane because only she is standing on a mat and there's like a guest next to her, like Kelly Clarkson's just like, okay, why don't I have a mat?
Maybe she has bad lower lumbar.
Then don't wear heels.
But they don't explain it, so it looks silly.
Point is, there's going to be some Padma shade. Padma. I'm only calling her Padma.
I'm going to call her Padma.
Fine. Mise en place happened. They split up into teams, which fine. There was a issue with premature ejaculation by most of the males.
Sure.
Most of the males were
Seems like it was a problem for most of them.
Seems like the artichokes really made them artichoke.
I will say, as an amateur chef,
he's a very amazing good chef. I call him a saucier. He makes amazing everything, but like soups and every kind of sauce, dressing, anything like that. Insane. Like he makes homemade everything. Ranch dressing. He makes ranch. I'm spoiled. I was spoiled before children.
Store-bought dressing's not very good.
And soup and salad dressing and tomato sauce.
Sure, but the point is that artichokes are a difficult ingredient to work with, even in the best of circumstances.
We just had a not great time with
artichokes.
Okay, fine. doing the what do you call it? What they did to the orange? Not segmenting.
Yeah, that's
Whatever they did to. No, there's like a fancy name. The orange thing, whatever. The winners are the red team, meaning they finished first. So that was a good team. That was Joe, Melissa, Brian, and Kevin.
Sure.
Kevin, who dat?
Kevin. I remember Kevin. He was with us maybe 3 or 4 seasons ago. I want to say it was one of the Southern
When we were competing?
seasons. Yeah, I
And
believe
also
so.
married? Okay.
Yeah, I think certainly we knew each other. He
Kentucky.
might have been, no, it wasn't that recent. Might have been Dallas. He's a meat guy. He's a
Oh,
guy that
maybe
loves
that.
meat. If I remember correctly.
You're a guy that loves meat.
Yeah, I'm a guy that loves meat too. If I remember correctly, he has like all the pig tattoos with the different parts of the body, indicating the loin and the belly
He looks different.
and the shoulder and all of those things. I think he shaved his head because he's balding.
The way you just said Uncle Jesse. Mm-hmm.
He did lose some weight, and he has his beard is more manicured than it was when he was on the season initially.
It's really the pig tattoo that made me remember that. That's what makes me remember him. Okay, so that's like a solid team. Really into Melissa.
Yeah, she's outstanding. I don't know, is it time? We're not going to talk about our dark horses now, but
If you want to.
But to me, she is the dark horse for this season.
She's it.
I will be surprised if she's not in the finals.
I have a white horse, but actually it's a pink horse, and her name is Karen.
Sure.
She came to win. She came to win.
I think
Karen was highly underrated. We discussed this.
Yeah, we talked
highly
about this.
underrated. She had like a weird going off. Like when she went out, it was weird.
Every season they do a disservice to one of the chefs, where they string you along and make you feel they're not very good, and then they get to the finals,
like an edit disservice.
And then all of a sudden, you're saying, I don't believe this person's very good. You've shown me they're very average the entire season. And then there's sometimes on the opposite end of the spectrum where someone is like a really great chef, and they never do them justice and really explain just how good their food is.
Do you mean that like they get they're kind of in the middle and then all of a sudden they win? And you're like, how did this person win?
Yeah, sometimes that happens, but sometimes they're just very, very talented chefs.
Yeah.
And they just don't get the edit that, where they show them just how good they are.
Well, and this is, episode 1. Go ahead.
Sure. She did very well, Karen, in her season.
Yeah.
But you still never thought she was that good because they never did her the justice of saying just how delicious her food was. But they clearly thought it was because she got so far.
And this is also episode 1 is mayhem. There's 15 people. No one really gets enough time. They did spend a lot of time with Mr. Malarkey's Malarkey and all of his sound bites. I think only truly, we can get to this at the end, I feel like they're setting him up to be a villain.
Quite possibly.
He's definitely the most, seemingly in the edit, antagonistic person of this episode.
He's also going to be the person who thinks perhaps more highly of himself than what his skills would actually indicate.
Yeah, he seems like a bit of a hack.
Perhaps. It seems like his restaurants are ones that I probably wouldn't be interested in eating at just based on the name alone.
What's the name of it? It's like
Fire. Urban Wood.
Pass. Okay. So now we get to the teams have all been divided. They go, they're ready to cook in the kitchen. The way they stagger them isn't really that different, right? And they cook different dishes, all artichokes, all almonds, all oranges. Again, happy to be back.
Sure, there was two tempuras.
Artichoke crudo. The tempura was a whole to-do, and this is where we come to Padma's third degree burn number 1, which is, now is this how you wanted the tempura cooked? You know she knows that no, they didn't want that. So like the way she asks is like from the bitchiest point of view possible.
You understand they're not cooking in the ideal circumstances.
No, doughy, dry and chewy. The Padma story. I believe that's what she said about the tortellini. Tortellini?
She complained, yeah.
And yet
he was on the winning team.
I know. That sometimes they also just like pull complaints out, but she likes to really complain. So that happened. The red team won. Meaning, what happens if they won? What did they get?
They got a little extra bonus. Do you recall what it was?
Well, we move on to the main course, which is the elimination challenge, and the bonus is they each got to be a team captain and pick their teams. Pick the rest of their team for the big elimination challenge, which was a seafood feast with fire.
Cooked on the beach.
Nothing else, just fire.
Just fire. No electricity.
They were big grills, at least.
They had utensils. They had use of both hands. I believe there were times when they perhaps were not allowed to do that.
Well, we've seen ones where there's no knives.
There's been no knives. Yeah. So they gave them the full use of utensils.
And then Malarkey gets the bite. Oh, I'm like a caveman. I don't even like electricity. It's like, yes, you do. How'd you charge your phone?
All of human history, no electricity. They always had to cook.
So here's the lineup, and this is just a partial lineup. I should Wikipedia properly. The lineup of who were the judges for this episode in terms of who was who were the internet? Who were the people that were actually watching?
This was a who's who.
Nancy Silverton, Marcus Samuelson, Michael what? Chimarusti. Oh, is that the guy from Providence?
Maybe.
We're super educational, sorry guys.
I will say this. I read LA.
Jeremiah Tower.
So there was a lot of LA cooking royalty.
And there will be because
there will continue to be a lot of LA royalty. I've only been in LA for just over a year.
I've been here for years, minus 7 years in New York.
So I'm trying to get up to speed. Every Wednesday, we take our 2 children out to one of the fanciest restaurants in the city to expose them to some of the. We don't actually do that.
With whom do you do that? I thought you were going to say that like Hugo's burrito stand is the fancy.
Exactly.
We get Amex points. It's a long story. We go to places we get Amex points. Okay, so they had to create a family-style seafood feast for literally the amount of judges and the caliber of judges that would be at a finale.
Yeah, and
that's.
Quite frankly, this was
an all-star move. They would never do this to the Rays.
No, not in the first episode. And this was, I mean, for my own personal taste, this was a dream scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of cooking all different types of seafood in this manner, to me, seemed like a delicious, delicious idea.
You didn't think it was like too much barrier to entry just with the fire?
I mean,
the grates and the grills.
I mean, they're all stars, but sure, it leaves a lot of room for error.
Right, which they want.
If they do well, there will be some delicious, delicious dishes.
Should we have our cheese sticks while we're talking about food?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna crack into my Trader Joe's prosciutto.
It's very fine dining over here.
Yeah, maybe not. That might be a little bit too messy.
What? Just kind of stuff it in.
Yeah, just
roll it. The old roll. You could make a roll of this. That would be very bad together. So let's talk about what went down in this said main course. What went down with the fire and ice, I will call it. Well, there was a mad scramble for seafood, which makes me uncomfy. Where they all had to race to the table.
Yeah,
I don't like that. Like, I get it. Like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do a scallops, whatever, and you don't get the scallops because Eric like elbows you out of the way and gets scallops. Get it? But like, you're already giving them like fire and a beach. They have enough.
Yeah, those are always things that I have an issue with. It didn't seem like
it actually then mattered.
Yeah, there was plenty of good ingredients to work from.
Right.
All of those were tasty fishes and tasty different morsels.
What is a tuna? What did you say? A tuna eye?
Yeah, the tuna eye. It's just the cut. We're referring to Kevin. So it's part of the loin, I believe.
Please don't talk to me about eating loins.
Yeah, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I believe it's.
Is it really a loin?
A fish has a loin, just as any other land animal does.
No thanks.
But
I just processed what you said.
It's
just as any land animal does. That is a no thanks for me. Again, seafood I came to in the middle of my life so far, like in college time. So I didn't grow up eating seafood. Oh, cheers! I ate most of mine already. Well, they're on the beach. They're cooking. They prepped and whatever. Precious Joe, Mustache Joe, current James Beard Award winner of best facial hair, the twist. How much time do you think he does his mustache? That's like a good 20 minutes every morning.
I would imagine it's 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. Do you think people who are listening to us just on podcasts are going to really like the chewing part?
There's been a lot of things. Well, I mean, this isn't great for video, and this isn't great for radio.
It's not great for video, just saying this.
Sure, this glass of wine.
Yes.
Is not great. People watching me drink it, or maybe you're joining.
I think they like it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like communal video chat happy hours going on and wine and cheese parties and things.
This is the new normal. We're here to escape. We're here to get loose and watch other people be outside in groups. So before we get to the beach, we have the seafood scramble, and then we had this sweet ass Top Chef Cribs tour. The tour, I don't know a lot about LA, but I do know you want to be in the Hollywood Hills. Again, I believe it to be Kevin who said that.
It was Kevin, yeah. He probably lives here. They all live here.
That's funny. The house is fine. They were really like acting like it was like, Hearst Castle or something.
I don't know. I thought it was quite nice. Maybe.
It's super nice. I don't mean it's not nice, but they were all like, whoa.
I mean, secretly I was too.
And then of course Malarks was like, bunk beds. He loves it. He's such a top bunk.
Even the nicest house is not going to have 15 bedrooms, Malarks.
Yeah, what does he expect?
What is he?
He could sleep by the pool.
The fact that
he could sleep on the balcony.
Bunk beds gets you by, and you have 8 bedrooms.
Do they want twin beds shoved uncomfortably close to each other? No.
Possibly sleep head to toe.
They didn't tell us who was rooming with who, though. Give me that tea. We're going to see, I'm sure.
We'll slowly learn over the course of the season.
Fine. I also love the new version of Angelo, Guru Angelo. The guruiest guru, who's just like peace and love. I feel like we have to move along. We thought we'd have trouble filling time.
Yeah, so anyway.
Stephanie, well, this is a non sequitur, but that's something we do. Stephanie Fauchot has a chip on her shoulder about being a private chef.
Yes.
She brings it up multiple times.
Which is interesting. And
she's awesome.
I didn't have a chance to say this at the time because you mentioned this as we were watching.
What, the chip?
Yeah, and I think
she was like for a lot of famous people, but I can't tell you.
A lot of times, if a chef can really cook their own food, it's going to taste better than what you might get at a restaurant where you have to do multiple sittings a night and cook for hundreds of people.
Totally.
So to me, if you are a chef for somebody of means who really wants something outstanding,
get more freedom and you
get more freedom and you can really make some amazing dishes.
Yeah, someone's paying you top dollar.
I don't think that it makes me think lesser of her. But I agree.
Yeah.
I'm saying
this
she doesn't need to.
People are caterers.
I'm saying chill out.
To her.
Yeah, this is me telling her, chill out.
Yeah, tell her.
Because being a personal chef and allowing you to make your food how you want to is just as rewarding and requires just as much talent as opening a restaurant.
I think she needs to chill it out. Also, she's very good, so get over it. Okay. Oh, I also have a new theory too. Nini is the audience avatar. She is us.
Right.
I can't believe I'm here. We also can't believe you're there, but like the way she sees it is the way we would see it, or the way we are seeing it.
Sure. She's watching with us.
She's also just good commentary.
She's great. Again, I've said it before, but she's a delightful personality. She's effervescent.
She is effervescent.
Yeah, she's like a Alka-Seltzer of Top Chef contestants.
So we get to the beach.
Yes.
We're cooking. It seems like they definitely shot the sun. Oh, no, I know when they shot. When did I go on the
work backwards? It was like October.
November?
So when they probably shot that, like probably September.
It was hot. AF.
Maybe August.
Yeah, it was hot. Well, it was hot here in September and October.
Yeah, maybe September.
The weather. So they're there. They're sweating. The teams are like, I don't know. I don't feel like we're in it enough to like know at a quick glance who's a good team or bad team. Like we think we know, but it's.
I mean, to me, when they introduced the lineup, there was a lot of good chefs.
Like Brian, Joe, and Leanne. That's a seemingly legit team. Jennifer, Kevin, Nini, Angelo, Karen, Melissa, Gregory, Jamie, Stephanie, Brian, Eric, Lisa. I feel like each team has two good people and like a maybe.
Yeah, but at least
right.
Yeah, there's at least 10 really strong chefs, and there was at least 2 really strong chefs on each of these teams.
Yes.
So all of the teams to me were
there wasn't
all
like
good.
a dud
team
been, or like a oh shit team.
They all could have won very easily.
They all have basically the same description of their food, which is this is a modern California seafood story with an Asian twist, except Jeffrey's team is, which I thought they were going to get dinged for. They seemed like they were planting a ding where they were like, we don't care what each other are making. We're just making our own thing. And that never came up.
No, well,
at the end of the day, it was like one of those fake foreshadowing things.
Yeah, it's like, if you make good food, it doesn't really matter if you have a cohesive concept. It doesn't matter. It's like you just want, if you have a good story in a movie, it's a good movie. It doesn't matter. If you have a good tasting piece of food, it doesn't matter if you have a cohesive story.
Well, I feel like they sometimes care about it. Like Tom cares.
But at the end of the day, good food trumps everything.
Then we come to Oilgate 2020.
Oh,
that was like, and they like took that as like the thing that happened, but it was not great. Did you know that would happen?
Yeah, that was an absolutely horrible idea. Would you ever do that?
No. Why would you think that fish would not stick?
Well, but beyond that, pouring oil into a burning fire.
No. Well, and who was it that was helping her?
That was our boy.
Joe?
No, Mark, whatever.
Where is Leanne? No, it was Joe. Malarkey was yelling at her, and Joe was helping her by rubbing a rag with oil on the grill for it to be like, flip the fish to this. She got cockled.
Tom called it a rookie mistake, and it was. And I hate that expression. It's rude and mean, but he's great.
When Dad Tom gives you a lecture, Dad Tom reminds me of my actual dad, so it's very confusing for me because they not slightly look the same.
Her dad is a perfect mix between Tom Colicchio
and J.K. Simmons. Yeah.
If they had a love child, it would be her dad.
The way Tom talks is the way my dad. It's insane. Anyway, Tom not like that. He was like rookie mistake, but he was like nice about it. Leanne has been here 2 times as well.
Yeah, I believe that Tom is a genuinely nice guy.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I think he is just a great, nice, fun guy to hang out with.
Everyone read his Hollywood Reporter article about the state of the restaurant industry. and this new season. Okay. Green team came out. They loved it. Red team came out. Leanne is feeling the burn.
Feeling the burn.
No points. Yellow team judges lost their minds. They loved it. Again, they misdirect these edits. The blue team, they liked Jen's dish and Kevin's was a disaster. They didn't even say why it was bad. Oh, they said that the fish was hammered.
Sure. I want to go back to the yellow team.
Please.
Gregory is, he left. He burned out of his season.
He burned out.
He was
personally.
winning.
He's too tender.
And then when it got close, he was like Roger Federer. You guys like tennis? He was like Roger Federer early in his career. He could not close out the Grand Slam. He could not close out a match. He'd be up 2 sets.
You think it's just mindset,
serving
not
for the
skill?
match, and I think he choked.
Yeah.
I think he maybe based on talent alone might be the best chef there.
Whoa, really? But isn't Eric so good?
Yeah,
or
but I think Gregory is
over...
better. And I think that he got in his own head at the end of his season.
He did.
Like,
he burned out. You're right.
4 or 5 contestants left in his season. All of a sudden, he tanked. He still made it to the finals, but he just was never a true contender.
Yeah.
And I think he got in his own head. His dish was probably the most well-prepared dish of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that he probably, watched his season.
Sure.
So you probably learned. I don't feel like I got a lot of his story, like what he's been doing since, but I feel like he probably had to really reset and be like, do I even want to go back? Yes.
Right.
Oh, because we didn't talk about the price. 250 large, friends. Yeah. My guys, they can win a lot of money.
This is, they started 12 years ago. $100,000 doesn't get you what it used to.
Pellegrino's like, how much do we have to give this season? Well, seems like a lot. And Hidden Valley Ranch is like, we'll do it. We're available. Side note, again, makes ranch. I don't know. The Hidden Valley lifestyle. Also the way they make them. Anyway. Okay. Oh, and then they said the Aqua team, they used the word flawless. Aqua team, flawless.
Okay.
But we get to the judging. Jen and Melissa individually called out for top. Who's Jen? Oh, Jen. Why am I brain farting who Jen is?
Jen is Jen.
Pinky?
No. Jen is from La Bernadette. She's the fishstress.
All right. I blocked out the fishstress.
So this challenge was telling me for her.
I know.
She's sort of.
Yeah. You know what we need to talk about though? What of those dishes did you want to eat? Because I wanted to eat those morsels with the charred cream. Like what's that?
So we're skipping ahead here.
Sorry.
In order to answer your question.
Thank you.
Kevin had a rough time.
Yeah.
But the concept of his dish is the dish that I wanted to eat the most.
Really?
Yeah.
That sauce scared me.
So to me, but again, there was some meat in there.
Oh, that's also why. Chorizo or bacon or something like this?
Yeah, with the chorizo. So that was the dish that I want to eat the most, but he failed with the execution, so now who knows?
Once you hammer a fish per Tom, per my dad, it's not good. So Jen and Melissa got like the separate shout outs, but the yellow team wins. Congrats, yellow team. That would be a hard thing for us if we were doing those points, because it'd be like they all won, but then he actually won. Oh, we had points built for that. Like team wins, you get some points, but you're the person that wins. Winner, Who won?
Oh, so Gregory won. I mean, that could have been. I call him Steven.
Dave goes. They go, and the winner, and I'm like, who? And Dave goes, it's Steven. And I'm like, there is no Steven.
She's like, you mean Stephanie?
I didn't know what you meant.
Yeah, and I was like, no, it's definitely not Stephanie because Steven's a boy.
Steven. Well, gender's over.
Yeah, well, it turns out it's Gregory.
Well, you're not surprised.
No, not at all.
And you want to eat that dish? No. What was the dish?
It was salmon. He had a sweet and spicy sort of sauce going on, which sort of goes back to what he did so well on his first season.
Yeah, balance. And
he balances different bold, big flavors. And it's not necessarily something I would gravitate to.
You don't like salmon that much.
Necessarily.
It's not like you're not going to order a salmon.
Salmon is not my favorite fish, but I do want to eat his food. And I did think, like I said, that it was the best, well-cooked dish and well-conceived. And so
charred salmon. Wait a minute. Charred. He burned his fish. What's up with that?
No, Tom said
Justice for Leanne. Justice for Leanne.
Tom said it was the most perfect that you could cook salmon. He said that. Maybe
he and Malarkey can go into business together. Wood fire guys.
Yeah.
Fire hog guys.
I mean, talk about the
yin and yang.
Yin and yang.
Talk about the fringed black leather jacket he wears in his interviews. Cheers to you, bud. I would like to have that jacket.
He had that jacket, I believe, in his original season as well. Yeah.
I'm gonna need him like a vest. Charred salmon with grilled peaches and roasted chili dressing. I don't think that's what he called it, but yes, that sounds good.
No, that sounds.
I'm here for
sounds
peaches.
close. Yeah, that close enough matches the description that he gave.
Side note: Suzanne Goyen said nothing once the whole time. Oh, she said one thing. She said, "I would eat that for lunch every day."
She smiled a lot though and gave a lot of agreement nods.
Marcus Samuelsson was high.
I will also say this about Marcus Samuelsson: they treat him as if he's royalty.
I know.
We
He thought our child was cute.
He did think our child is cute, but I also think he's a bit of a dud when it comes to his actual chefing talents.
Oh,
Yeah,
ugh.
certainly the
Third
choice.
degree burn from you.
First of all, his restaurants are widely available at airports across the country.
Well, so if you want to make Dave lose all respect for you and you're a chef, open an airport restaurant.
Yeah, just try it.
It's gone.
So,
Or be the Wolfgang Puck who has like
unless
that
you're
section
Shake
of our
Shack,
supermarket.
unless you're Shake Shack.
Danny Meyer.
But the Marcus Samuelsson, what's red hen or a red rooster?
Red rooster.
Red rooster.
We also just didn't have a good time that
I'd
time. We were very
say-
stressed that Goldie was eating food.
Yeah, sure. But I would say the
She was
food
small.
on a scale of 1 to 10, it was about a 4. The
Yikes.
average restaurant in New York is probably a 7.
Quick side note: did you know, you guys, that Dave grew up and he didn't like the food that his family would cook because it wasn't fancy enough? So he made his mom go to a separate supermarket and get him fancier things and better food.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Okay, I feel like we need to.
And then I got a budget when I got my own license and can shop myself.
I feel like our producer, shout out to our producer, is going to be like,
Yeah.
but I'll just be like, oh, I didn't get your email. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't know.
We know her. Did you text us? No. Okay. Winner, Gregory. Now we get to Sad Times Loser City, the loser corner.
Wow.
What we actually, I realize we have a structure. The loser is called the Dangerous Dessert Course. Elimination time. What you got?
So this was actually shocking to me, and it
This was shocking.
made me quite sad.
You know what? I'm going to take mine back. Did you see the flatbread? It looked nasty.
Yeah, it looked terrible.
So it was not shocking.
It was shocking in the sense
It was shocking
that,
in a vacuum.
yes, in a vacuum. If you would have
That
asked
flatbread.
me how well I thought Joe would perform over the course of the season,
You went very far.
I would have put him,
Yeah.
in the
That
top.
was, you're right. That was a
top
shocking
tier.
first person.
He's one of the top 5 chefs, I believe, out of the 15.
Really?
He's excellent, and
He bites off more than he can chew.
he's a bit of an Angelo. He's
Yeah.
a little bit high and low,
Yeah.
but his best
He blew
is
it at
transcendent. And
the, nice word.
and what
He
he
blew it at
did,
the quick fire though too.
what
Because
he
he
did
bit off
with-
more than he could chew. Because he's
Yeah.
like, I'm here to win. He's got too much to prove when he already is good.
so
right?
he definitely, yes, maybe he's not tailor made for a show like this,
Let me tell you
but
what
he's
he
very
did.
talented. And I can't believe he went home first. Come on,
It's embarrassing.
it's not even embarrassing.
Like,
It
not
was
to be
just
shitty,
shots.
but
It's
like
so good.
Lisa.
Like, and because I do when he is cooking well, I love his type of food because he's just like Italian, homemade
Dave's
pasta.
dream is tortellini and brodo in any
So,
capacity, in any form
yeah.
like that. Here, let me just quickly read you what he wrote. Nope. What he made, and then you can decide if this is the thing you want to eat. Sesame and semolina flatbread.
It's
I'm in.
so
What?
far so good. No,
Okay.
I'm just thinking.
With
as you get
clams.
there.
Oh, okay. I'm sliding around on bread. Fried garlic. Yes. Sea urchin. Just instantly. No, thank you. Pickled peppers and miso miso parmesan. Miso parmesan aioli. Miso parmesan aioli. And let's be very clear. This isn't like ingredients where they list most of them to least of them. If you were doing that, it would be miso parmesan aioli. Underneath it is a slab of flatbread, and
Little
on
bit of
top of it
bread.
is some like wet clams sliding around. And
Yeah.
just even when we saw it, I was
I
like,
mean,
"Ew, no." What was
my-
the other one when we saw it that I was like, oh no? Oh, Brian's. I was like, that
Oh,
does not
the-
look nice.
The double doozy.
The-
The whole team failed. Yeah, I was a little bit worried that Brian was sending Joe down a path where he's going to be too safe and too simple.
Wait,
yeah.
why would Brian send? Oh, there's 2 Brians. It's
Yeah.
very confusing.
Yeah.
I meant Voltaggio's dish.
Sorry, but
Who's
yeah.
this guy?
Isn't Malarkey's first name Brian?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
blocked that out.
I was worried that it was going to be a little bit too much of like a simple, easy, just a flatbread with a couple of clams. Now,
But it's
back
Joe.
in New York, you go to Connecticut and you get that New Haven pizza.
Oh,
and
that
the
was
clam
that was
pie is
delicious.
one of the best things you'll ever eat. And so
It's
I-
delicious.
I thought they were going to set that up as a thing he shouldn't do. And I'm saying, no, go for it. That's going to be amazing. That's like delicious.
I just realized, just for fun, I don't actually know when we're supposed to stop talking. That's fine. I'm just gonna keep going.
At this point, we have editors, right?
Seemingly.
If not, we'll do it.
Bree, when we're supposed to stop talking, just tell us. But we'll just keep going. Okay. So do you think that there was a winner, Jeffrey, and there was a loser, Joe? Very sad.
Yeah.
Also, just like quick shout out to whoever thought it was a great idea for his sad walk to be on a beach. So he had to walk
Like
so
a
far.
mile.
So like in the kitchen, you just leave the doors. And then they like not only made him walk like through a parking lot, like
Still there.
to the Santa Monica Pier.
Still see you.
Yeah. And then he has to like come back and shoot the pickups where he's like putting his sad knives back at like an empty sad table. And it was like clearly 3 hours later.
Just let me loose gracefully.
Ugh, that sucks. Do you think he unpacked at the house?
Oh,
Did he have to
definitely.
pack?
He's like
He's not an unpacker.
He's a guy that just jumps on the bed.
Yeah, like his stuff is just shoved into a duffel.
Yeah.
But he has his mustache kit in there. Oh no. So we were gonna have a segment. This is actually the least beardy season.
Yeah, I started to say that. Yeah,
we were gonna have a segment called I mentioned it, the James Beard Award, and we lost our only
I think
facial hair.
Kevin by default.
Oh.
I mean, it was Joe and Kevin's left, so now it's.
This is very weird that no one else has beards. That was also a sort of a trend like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was so.
This is
2018.
my. Yeah, this.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying, chefs and baseball players having those beards. That was 2 years ago.
Sure, or Apocalypse Hobo Chic.
That's my guy. Also, did I mention we love the Mets? Not secular. Okay. Who then do you think was the actual winner? Is there a winner besides Jeffrey? Someone who you thought won the episode?
That's a good question. I mean,
I just always stand everything that Karen does. So I think that she did a good job.
look, but she didn't. Again, she's not getting the edit where she really stands out. Everything
Well,
is
I think
good.
the winner is Melissa.
It's solid.
Unless you don't want her to be outed as your dark horse.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stephanie did well because we
Yeah, I
talked
agree.
about the chip on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And she was clearly the yellow team deserved to win.
Yeah.
Jamie, I think, is a bit of a dark horse. He
Yeah,
gets a
we
little
do like
bit.
Jamie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot to also say on the bottom with him was Leanne.
Sure.
With Joe and Leanne. And I think this is a great Top Chef lesson is knowing your mistake is going to keep you safer than not knowing your mistake. Leanne knew her mistake.
Yeah.
Joe didn't know.
The thing that
And
comes
if
and bites you in
if
the
you have that
ass
in
is
front of
when
Tom,
you,
he's
right.
like, you don't know, you're out.
Yeah, if you
She
fight,
was like, oh, did I burn the fish?
yeah,
sorry.
if you fight, if you get defensive, that
Well,
will be.
who was it?
That was Jen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was rude.
Yeah. So
Also, quick side note, this will come up multiple times. Who was it that went home? Oh, it was Stephanie. Just quick deep dish back into why Stephanie also might be coming in with some baggage, because she went home because of Nicholas. Nicholas had immunity. Nicholas on season whatever.
Yeah, so this-
Vegas.
yeah, I think it was Vegas, and this is the biggest fight we've had as a couple.
Yeah.
Now we've been married for nearly 5 years. We've been together
20,
for nearly
so clear.
8
Yeah.
years.
Mhm.
And I think this was our biggest fight.
Dave thought it was fine that Nicholas, who had immunity and literally blew the challenge, let Stephanie go home. Opposite side of that is Jamie, who had immunity, gave up his immunity
Gave
and went
up,
home.
yeah.
Love connection, gave up community.
So if
Nicholas
they
is
give out
garbage
immunity so
monster.
that you can use immunity. If
Yeah, but he egregiously erred and let someone else just.
we'll talk about this again. I know that we're running short on time, and I'd actually like to dedicate a segment
Oh.
to my arguments and then to Anne's counter arguments.
Okay.
And then we're gonna let everyone.
Real quick. We already talked about this. The tastiest morsels. Which judge or chef testing gave the best one-liner? I would do a tie of, did you mean your tempura to be this chewy? And I've got people for that. Those are pretty good. Those are
Yeah,
pretty
so
good
that
one-liners.
was Kevin who doesn't really that's not what I expect of him.
My favorite one-liner was you going, when I said who won, you said Steven. That was my favorite one-liner. And then Dirty Martinis, news and gossip. Well, the gossip is I know some stuff. I'll never tell. News?
We can't. We're under
The
NDA.
news is that the restaurant
I
industry
actually
is
don't
in
even
the
know.
actual garbage dump, and it's interesting watching this show and then being in the situation we're all in right now. Whoa. That's not very fun news.
Hopefully we can all save some money and then go splurge on restaurants when they reopen.
Well, you're supposed to buy gift certificates.
Yeah, that doesn't go to the workers though. So it's
It doesn't?
well, I mean, not theoretically, not necessarily.
Last thing, before I remind you to subscribe to our channel, give our video a thumbs up, give us 5 stars, comment on iTunes, enjoy. We're sorry we chewed cheese sticks in the middle of this. Was really quick, the flavor of next week, aka what are we cooking next week? What do you think? What do we see in the next time on?
So what I like to
Usually
see,
they do a season one.
they
Oh, this
did
was
do
a
a
season
season.
one,
They
okay.
did do a season, so they left us with a cliffhanger because
Oh,
they said we're
right.
getting right into our next elimination challenge.
Brian Voltaggio needs some aloe vera and a break. Okay, he is tie and too red.
So so we want to see one if Brian Voltaggio can fight through this thunder.
He's crisped. It's not good.
Which I know is
The
hard.
fish was burned, but you know, it was more burned. Brian Voltaggio.
Because, you know, if I'm sunburned, that means I've had a good day at the beach, which I don't actually like.
He
I
hates
just want-
sand. You
I
guys.
want
We
chip
live in
and
Los
dip.
Angeles.
I don't want to be cooking in front of a hot fire.
Yes. Do you think they're really going to make them go straight to another elimination
I
challenge?
do, and I think that
sucks.
they
So the
should.
whole episode is an elimination challenge?
Probably.
There's no quick fire.
Probably not.
But it's probably individual. It's not another team
Or-
thing.
No, I think at this point they're individuals.
Yikes.
But what I like to see is I want to see consistency.
What do you mean?
So I will be able to make my decisions about how well I think people are
That
going
might
to
not be given
perform
to you, my love.
based on how people perform after the second week, not after the first week.
I know. So usually we draft now. But you know, we
Think
know
of it-
too much.
Yeah, think of it as like the tryouts on like The Voice or American Idol,
Yes.
where they bring their best
Well, right.
for that, and then
But this was under
when they're
duress. Though.
this was so
Their
this is a bit
best
of a
is not to
different
be cooked on
situation,
an
so
open
that's
fire
true.
on the beach.
But
yes.
also, it's not fair to judge somebody on their ability to work in extreme circumstances. If
I know that's usually in the middle of the season.
I always want to know who the best chef is, the person whose
Yeah.
food I want to eat the
Yeah.
most, and giving them an extreme challenge where to see whether or not they can handle it doesn't tell me whether or not I want to eat their food more than everyone else's. So
I want to
wanna
eat their food, and I
see
did.
a regular challenge that lets them really cook before I can decide who I think is going to.
We're getting the
really
hook.
nail
We've
it.
been told to wrap it up, but that is sort of the end. Next week, I think they're going to build up Malarkey more as the Malarkey. I love wine. Build up Malarkey more as a villain.
Yeah, our 3-year-old daughter is looking forward to that.
She was into the show. We had to bribe her.
Yeah.
She was into it. Oh, I forgot our whole segment. We were going to do a whole segment with cupcakes, each representing one of the teams, and we were going to eat them. But sugar's not good for you in a low
No,
immunity. So.
It's wine or sugar.
Oh, it's
it's
good.
not both.
Anyway, we really appreciate all 10 of you watching us. We're growing a
we got
fan
to
base.
11.
I know we're growing a fan base, and we appreciate you guys being along for the ride. Subscribe to the channel. Go after Buzz TV. Love you guys. See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Eat well, since we're all cooking.
Stay safe.
Everyone's a top chef now, guys. Oh yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm at Annabelle8 on Instagram. ANNABELLE, Annabelle 8. This is an 8 in Roman numeral on Instagram. Dave's Instagram handle, not, because he does not have one. So get at us through Annabelle 8
If
on
it's
Instagram.
an emergency and you need to get me, at Annabelle8 on Instagram.
And Annabelle Walsh
She
on
knows
Twitter.
where to find me.
That's us. Bye, guys.